general nerdery.
So there was a customer at work the other day that has been haunting me. Especially because he keeps coming back to the store. I know I've yelled at
I
Steven
have a
about
feeling
this.
I know who you're talking
Burger
about.
Ben?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I heard a new installment to Burger Ben today from a different coworker.
Oh, good. So I'm working in the dish room, go to the bathroom as you do, because when you don't want to work for a few minutes, and then when you're back, and so we work at like healthy food stores, so we get nuts.
Mm-hmm.
We get weird folks. And I've seen this guy because I recognized him because he used to work at the store, so I'd recognize the face. And I heard him once say half a sentence about yeah, all the evils they're doing at CERN. And I was like, I just need to not listen to this story. I just need to keep going. But he's going by and I recognize him and I look and he just has a pound of raw hamburger open. And as I'm watching, he just sticks a fork in it and starts eating. And I was like, what the absolute fuck? But I go check. And then someone else is like, oh yeah, that's Ben. And I'm like, oh my god, this man is
a known factor.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire store just started gossiping about this man. And we learned more and more and more. That first day, he was just eating raw burger by himself and chugging cold tomato soup. On Saturday, he was back eating raw burger again. And, raw burger and goat milk. And apparently he had, a Costco thing of the protein powder. And he was just mixing that with the goat milk and powering protein goat milk shakes and raw burger. And possibly kimchi.
Oh, kimchi was definitely seen. From a reliable source, kimchi was being eaten on day 2, I think. The thing that I found most disturbing that I was informed of today, the new insight I learned with the protein powder and the goat's milk, is that he like it thick. He like it concrete thick.
Just watching, in the Three Stooges where they're all leaning over around the wall to look. Just that happening in the dish room as people are watching him eat raw burger in the store, and even the managers being like, I don't.
Are we allowed to let that happen?
Something?
Do we have to do anything about this? Should we do anything about this?
Can we do anything?
I guess
I mean, we wanted him to not do this. We all know that. We don't know if we can do anything about this.
I'm just goat milk, raw burger, and kimchi.
No, sir.
Raw burger is the first hurdle.
Well, and the number of
and
people
that's
that
the
have been
high bar.
Well, Wagyu exists, or not Wagyu, but the
look,
tartare.
I've had steak tartare.
But
it was
steak
good.
Tartare is not. Okay,
but it wasn't just.
When
raw
when
beef.
you take burger out of the little container that it's wrapped in, and it's still because you flip it out and the bottom still has that shape of the container, it had that, which means he just bought burger and flipped it out and just. I have been haunted by this man, especially because my wife finds him even more fascinating than I do.
The only saving grace is that I know, having been on the safety committee for the place we work at, that our meat and seafood are fucking cleanly as all get out and are very good about rotating stock. And when they're making their ground beef, they do clean the machine thoroughly.
Yeah, it only helps so much, though.
But it only helps that I have that firsthand knowledge, but that still doesn't help with this curse knowing about Ben meat. Raw Burger Ben.
The place that I'm haunted on, and this is, I don't know why this is the part that really stuck with me, is I don't know if he's never shit in his life because he apparently doesn't have any fiber in his diet, if this is anything to go off of, or if his weight loss regimen is just eat things that will only make me
I feel like
explode.
I feel like the raw beef is helping a lot with his ability to shit.
That's just so much protein.
No, there's explosions of some kind happening. All of that mixed together, that's...
Although I forgot about the thick goat milk protein shake.
But with the kimchi, like something's happening with the kimchi.
The kimchi's definitely got to be fired.
The kimchi is probably to make sure that he doesn't like
The kimchi's
explode internally.
The kimchi is literally the only fiber this man gets, unless you count tomato soup. And like,
I don't know why tomato soup is the part that like.
I'm just glad that he wasn't shoveling the protein powder into the tomato soup.
I was wondering. I was expecting him to put it on the burger, to be honest with you. Also, just raw, like, I like hamburger a lot, but you fucking spice it. Like.
And cook it.
I briefly was like, no, I don't want to overspice it so I don't, like, ruin the taste. And then I was introduced to some spice. I went, oh, that's so much better.
Oh,
like,
a light salt and pepper. But, like, I will at least fucking cook it. I've never had steak tartare. I would theoretically have steak tartare. But steak tartare is a fucking dish that's prepared and, like, intended to be eaten that way.
Yeah, it's not just the raw meat.
It just makes
There's
me
other
think
things
of,
to it.
It just makes me think of that scene from Letterkenny where they're making jokes about making sushi from whatever they catch while ice fishing, and Squirrely Dan is getting increasingly upset with them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, I was talking to another coworker. It's 100% performative, right? Like, this guy just wants to be seen eating this out in public.
It's hard. He quit to go live in the woods, which is not an uncommon reason to quit the hippie store that we work at. But, like, this might just be the only place where he can charge his phone.
Okay, yeah. But also, like, if it's not...
I have a little bit more info, but I'm going to save it for off mic.
Yeah, we don't want to fucking
this,
drop this dude too bad.
But, like, is this, like, a diet?
It feels like the guy watched the ads about the Liver King, the guy that's like, I only eat liver and now look how ripped I am. Please ignore all of the steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, fucking, we gotta stop talking about Burger Ben.
Welcome to General Nerdery, your podcast about liking things. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
That's Steven.
Hi, I'm Steven, and I'm here. And I wave every time.
And we put in a solid 7.5 minutes
before any of that.
The weird fucking guy.
We were cursed with this knowledge, and so are you.
We're here to discuss the first few episodes of Farscape.
Season 3.
That has some of the actors that would go on to go be in Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
But Farscape Season 3, but before that, what have we been ingesting?
Oh, shit.
Can I bring up Lin-Manuel Miranda real quick? One of the things...
You ingested Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I did. He's delicious.
He has a wife and kids.
Not anymore.
I don't think that's how that works either.
It does if I ate them too. But no, me and my partner finished How I Met Your Mother's last season.
I forgot he was in the final season.
And he's kind of like the second best part of that whole... Like, that episode is probably the best episode of that season, in my opinion.
That last season is a fucking train wreck. Last 2 seasons. I
just watched the alternate ending. There's an alternate ending that I've never seen before in my life. I've heard that it existed, but I never actually, like, seen it. It exists on YouTube now at this point.
I've seen it, yeah.
It is so much better. That is now my canon ending, in my opinion.
I don't hate the ending of How I Met Your Mother nearly as much as a lot of people do, but, like...
Knowing this alternate ending, I do actually now kind of hate the original ending. I thought it was maybe my least favorite ending to any series I've ever seen that gets, like, a series finale.
The problem with How I Met Your Mother is if that series had ended after, like, season 5, you could have done the original ending and have it worked perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they put so many different storylines in getting over Robin that it felt like such progression or regression, and in less than half an episode. Like, if you're going to do that, you need to give it some time. I don't know. I don't hate it as much as other people do, but
way too much character growth and backslide at points that are absolutely fucking wild. Those last couple seasons are
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Also, though, How I Met Your Mother just really fucking aged like sour milk. In that, like, there's a lot of transphobic jokes. They're not making trans jokes, but like, it's definitely like transphobic is like the way I would describe it now at this point. But there's fat jokes constantly.
It's
There's misogynistic jokes.
Yeah, it's very misogynistic. But it's the
There's gay jokes.
2007 humor where it was just way more appropriate to like poke at those before people are like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like,
Yeah, it was way more like, this is totally on the table for things we joke about right now.
Scrubs definitely I mean, Scrubs has aged better than How I Met Your Mother, like by a significant margin, but it still has some of those. Also, just the way that like, I know hookup culture still exists, but how much like less prevalent / expected hookup culture is versus where it was in 2010, 2007, whatever, like the era of it.
Yeah. We finished that, and now we're watching The Good Place.
Nice. Brilliant. Love that show.
Kat needs to watch it for a course she's teaching this semester. She's teaching ethics, so it's apropos.
Killer.
And finished Delicious in Dungeon, the Netflix anime. I think I talked to you both off mic. I don't think I've talked. I think I've talked about watching it, but I don't know if I've talked about finishing it. Oh, guys, if I didn't, I wholeheartedly recommend watching it. It's so fucking good. It's really fun. It's a less horny Food Wars
with a D&D
with a full-on like fantasy D&D kind of world. No isekai stuff. They just live in a magic world. There's elves, there's dwarves, there's fucking halflings and dungeon mages and shit. It's fucking great. It's super good. It's some real delicious looking food. It definitely feels like a happy medium between late series Food War of like wild dishes that like seem unrealistic.
And now we're gonna use this fucking chainsaw.
But like post season 1 where it's still unfeasible. Because they're making food with monsters. It's a dungeon crawler where they're killing monsters and then making food out of it. But it all seems relatively like feasible dishes, but it's all made out of monster.
Yeah, you can't get that meat necessarily, but if you could do these things with that meat.
Bingo. It's so fucking good. I highly recommend it. And then I watched the Jack Reacher movies, but I talked about it on trailers.
In fairness, that trailer episode dropped like 3 weeks before this one does. So if you want to talk about it, you still can.
They're fun. I enjoyed them. But I already talked about them on mic, so I'm not gonna. I imagine our listeners listen to every episode. And
They're
if they
so
don't,
fucking loyal. They listened to it a couple times already.
Devoted to the canon.
Yeah. You gotta get all the episodes in, or else you don't have the canon. So just like go back and listen to it, guys, if you missed it.
Devoted to this canon.
And then a lot of Marvel Snap.
Fuck yeah.
Just generally assume that there was a lot of Marvel Snap in this room
Fuck
going
yeah.
on. I mean, like,
Yeah, hell
There's
yeah.
a shit ton of Marvel Snap going on. I got number 1 of my fucking league.
Oh, I don't know if I talked about, because I don't think I had done this yet, but I also finished Letterkenny season 12, or the last season.
Tyler is still not finished.
I still haven't finished it, yeah.
We will be doing that episode soon.
So I won't talk much about it because
Fucking rules.
I really enjoyed it. It's a really satisfying finale. But it could also easily get more.
It made me want more. Like, it made the series feel fresh to me again. My only complaint is the terrible country song. It's really stuck in my head.
I want to listen to the remix version though. It's very good.
Tyler?
Watched Fallout.
How was it? I hear it's good.
Fucking great. It's so good.
You
It's
have connection to the
fantastic.
Fallout franchise, too.
I
yes,
love Fallout anyway, and even though I love Fallout, apparently there's parts of the show that possibly throw wrenches into the canonicity.
Fallout canon has always been a little, because it has
But
so
I don't
many
care.
endings, it's always been a little tweaky.
They did it so well that I don't care. It doesn't matter. It was everything a Fallout story needs to be, from what we had outside the vault to what we had inside the vault, and like it still felt kind of video gamey. I keep meaning to, and I didn't think about it till right now when I realized I was going to mention that I watched the show. But I do keep meaning to bring up like one of the articles or comments where crazy internet people figured out what level she is by the end of the show.
Oh, dear Lord.
I fucking love...
Love/hate the internet?
I love how weird the internet can be. When that kind of shit happens, it's like, you guys are fucking weirdos, and I love you.
Never change.
But they kind of like fucking nail it, guys. Like it's Fallout.
Only reason I haven't watched it is I don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And Walton Goggins is spectacular, as I knew he was going to be. He was the reason I was sold on this anyway. But like, I wish there was a little bit more Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah,
He's
Kyle MacLachlan definitely was one where I was like, oh, I'm taking this seriously now.
He's fun in How I Met Your Mother as the captain.
That's right, he was in that.
Yeah. And he has a recurring bit in the final season. So
I like Kyle MacLachlan.
I
also just like saying McLaughlin.
Yeah, right.
McLaughlin.
His part's important, but I wanted him to be in more episodes than he was.
Seems like he set up that he could come back in season 2.
Yes.
Because I imagine they're going to do a season 2.
It's already, yeah. It was a
Well, it
very
got,
successful show for them.
17, 16 Emmy nods, something like that.
Holy shit, I didn't know it was that successful.
The Brotherhood of Steel character, the guy who like is in
Maximus.
That, I know him from Disjointed, and that was the thing that sold me. I was like, I know that guy from this random fucking Netflix sitcom about a dispensary that I love.
That's super interesting too. Just like having someone in power armor from the get-go, when that's usually like, I don't know, because I was coming at it from having played the games and being like, well, that's usually like a super late game thing.
Well, I've never played the first 2 games. And in Fallout 3, if you are crafty, you can get power armor way earlier than you're supposed to. But
Right. But like he's in power armor like
episode 1. Yeah.
pretty much. It's complicated, but there's somebody in power armor like episode 1, and you're following what's all going on with that. So
Sounds cool though.
fucking, it was dope. Yeah. Halfway through the latest season of Sweet Tooth. I think it's also the last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that show just continues to be great. Like everybody's fucking killing it. The little kid from Cocaine Bear fucking continuing to nail it as fucking Sweet Tooth. Obasanya's dad is still fucking fantastic as Big Man. Like
yeah.
I kind of want to watch it. It was a thing that my mom had started at one point, and she was very into it.
My mom is really into it.
I've heard stories of a lot of moms being into it.
She also thinks I'm a magic comic book man now because of
You
this.
are a magic comic book
Well,
man.
yes, but like
if I had to describe you, that is a great way to describe you.
I just like
I
she'll
would
watch
say
anything.
magic comic book friend.
She will watch anything related to like comic books, and if she likes it, she's like, "So is there an omnibus for this too?" I'm not fully sure she knows what omnibus means, but like she's bought a couple of them now.
And then, yeah, a lot of Marvel Snap. I guess the only other big one that jumps to mind is like, in some ways, almost the exact opposite of like Steven's fun time with Delicious in Dungeon. Because instead of like a cooking, fun fantasy,
It's also pretty dark. Like,
well, I read the first volume of Berserk.
oh yeah, not nearly
That's
as dark.
real dark.
Real dark. I was
God, I
going to
haven't
say
read that in a
someone gets
long
eaten and then they
time.
have to go back into the dungeon to get them.
Have you read Berserk?
No, I never have. I've meant to for a while, and I'm pretty aware of all of the major story beats. Like it's just interesting finally getting to see it play out. Like, but I kind of knew everything that was going to happen in most of the volume, and fuck, the art is gorgeous, even when it's something terrible that's happening.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art is gorgeous from what I've seen.
But also, like, dark fantasy is right up my alley. Like, whatever. I know some terrible, terrible shit happens. I'm already ready for it. I'm super excited to go into it further. And especially because of, like, all the Elden Ring I've played for the past couple of years. And FromSoft titles in general, just being super inspired by it. That's been pretty interesting to be able to be like, oh, that I see where they got that, like, right away. Cool.
So the thing I was expecting you to bring up is you came over to my house
Oh,
and we watched SummerSlam.
Well, I was gonna wait for you to bring that up because it was at your house, and you're the one that has been way more into it.
yeah,
than
no,
me.
yeah. I just So SummerSlam is the second or third biggest, probably the second biggest
Hot WrestleMania.
wrestling. Yes, Hot WrestleMania, because it is WrestleMania in the summer.
I thought it was just. I immediately thought Magic Mike. Hot hot.
Well, Rhea Ripley is there, so it's also hot
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Anyway.
Anyway,
So obviously I'm super into wrestling now, and I'm still kind of mad about it. But like I knew everything was coming up. But Tyler came over because you liked wrestling when you were younger, but haven't watched in
Probably at least a good decade, if not longer.
years and years. Yeah.
There's
So,
a couple
like,
things I know that have happened in that time, but
But I guess like I know that you had fun, but like I guess I'm curious.
oh no, it was great.
Yes.
I mean, I told you already. As soon as I got home, I was like, well, now that I know that there's all sorts of wrestling on
That was
Peacock.
definitely the point that you were most excited about. I still want to do an episode where we watch the first WrestleMania ever, WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, WrestleMania 1 would be a lot of
Because
fun.
I've seen WrestleMania 40.
I've never watched wrestling. It's never been my thing.
Dude,
but I'd do that.
It wasn't until it was, is really what happened with me. Like,
I know that I've seen a lot of highlights from WrestleMania 1, but I've never watched the whole thing. But because of the kind of nerd for wrestling I was back when I was super into it, like I've seen a ton of highlights and shit from it.
I'm curious, as someone who watched mostly Attitude and some of the Ruthless Aggression era, so like 1998 to about 2003-ish,
Okay.
give or take a couple of years, but
And
then
what did they call the era right before the Attitude?
the new generation.
Yeah, so New Generation is where I would have got my start.
Okay.
Although it would have been kind of tail end of that.
Yeah, Bret Hart realizing that he's not going to be the next Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold suddenly becoming a weird phenomenon. But like, okay, but so I'm just kind of curious if you have any thoughts as someone who watched that shit, which is considered like the highlight of wrestling. But anytime I watch something from that, I can almost like taste the sweat and cigarette smoke.
It's when it had its deepest cultural penetration.
Yes.
I think the storylines are probably better now.
Oh, almost certainly. An old lady is not having a hand as a baby.
That's something that happened, yes.
Point of clarification: a old woman is birthing a human hand.
Yes. In the 90s, a woman named Mae Young, who had actually been wrestling since like the 40s or 50s, like old school,
She was legit OG.
the queen, came back in the 90s, yelled at wrestlers that didn't throw her hard enough because you will take me seriously, and then had a storyline where her and the literal world's strongest man, because the WWF hired the guy who won the world's strongest man record,
Mm-hmm. Sexual chocolate Mark Henry.
had a May-December romance and had a baby that was just a human hand. And then from what I can tell, after that was done, they just never talked about it again.
We don't bring that up.
For good reasons. I don't want to know any more about it.
It's okay. I just today learned about the corporate ministry and,
The corporate anyway,
yeah.
that can be its own episode at some point, going back to the Attitude Era.
But really, like, the only reason I don't feel incredibly sexist talking about this is my wife is at least as bad as I am of how invested we are in not just Rhea Ripley's story, but honestly Rhea Ripley's ass.
I, too, am now very invested in Rhea Ripley's ass.
They were very proud of, like, here's a ref cam, and it's literally just like a little earpiece with a little camera. And for the most part, they were using it for a dumb storyline thing. But they would switch to it every once in a while, and you could definitely tell when the ref was just, like,
Staring at the
watching that booty, and then being like, oh, shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
I actually think that they intended to use it more often than they did, and whoever was monitoring that live feed to figure out when to cut it in, whatever producer was on top of that, realized that it
doesn't work.
doesn't work. It breaks it too much. You see what the ref is seeing, and sometimes you need to see that the ref is not seeing it.
Well,
With
and
big air quotes, because you guys can't see.
And it's also the same reason that, like, first-person movies don't work very well. Like, it just... as much as you try to show things from the first person, there's too many other things that, like, you know, you just see like the edge of your hand or whatever, that it doesn't look right. It never looks like you're seeing something from the point of view of an actual person. And with and with first person shooters, you can ignore that. But like,
they've already done. Speaking, okay, because I think you were trying to ask me how I felt like this stacked up to what I grew up with.
yeah, or just if you had any thoughts about like that. I don't know. I'm just curious.
There's a couple things that were super noticeable. I love how much better they've gotten at filming it all, but parts of it are weird. Like the wrestler introductions at the beginning of every match feel like a video game. Like, it literally feels like I felt like I selected my character, and they get their 2 seconds to step forward, do something, and then the camera backs out and moves over to the next player.
Okay.
That's not what it used to be, but it's partially because, like, they weren't in a good enough setup to do that.
I wonder if some of that is just the years and years of video game wrestling games.
I don't know, but, like, it was super noticeable. The other thing... This is gonna sound like I'm trying to trash it nowadays.
No. Wrestling is hot garbage that I watch every week.
But I think it's truly think it's 100% for the better. I think it's gonna last to a lot of these wrestlers not getting as screwed up and being able to have longer careers, making that money, especially because of what they put themselves through to make that fucking money. Good for them. But compared to the Attitude Era, all of these wrestlers might as well be no selling everything that's happening to them.
Not overdoing the like how much you got hit and like, oh god, I'm so hurt and like.
But also just like, oh, it looks comparatively like nobody's getting hit.
If you want more of that. AEW, which is much more like actual fight oriented, and I've watched some AEW shows. Those do get bloody. Those are Adam Copeland's Edge joined that because he's like, well, let's end fun.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Like the modern storylines are definitely better, dude. I was sucked in just watching this one event. I was like, oh, I'm super curious what happens with the Bloodline. I'm super curious with what happens with
Judgment Day.
Fucking
Raw
Judgment
after
Day.
That was maybe the best single show I've seen.
Like they immediately, the storylines were so good it immediately got me invested, but
it also does look a little less real now.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, because the storylines are a bigger focus for them nowadays, if there's way less shoots compared to makes.
Shoot is a real life fight. Make is a fake.
Okay.
Fight. So like,
but I don't actually know how
actually punch someone.
But I don't know how many shoots there really were back in my day either, because I would have to go back and rewatch them with like my now grown up eyes rather than fucking 13-year-old, 12-year-old.
That is really
Tyler.
the interesting thing about wrestling and the amount that because it's live theater. It's a variety show with fighting. Of like, and like watching documentaries about wrestling and not even knowing it's fake or even knowing that it mixes, like, it's hard to tell. Like, okay, so I was watching a thing on the Mega Powers explosion where Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage had a falling out. And it's hard to tell where the storyline ended and those two just came to hate each other started. Like, or like, to use the modern one, Judgment Day. So like Judgment Day had a huge falling out in this one. But before that, they were really pushing, oh, we're a family. Turns out they fucking were. Like, that group is really close to each other because they went, oh, we're going to work together a lot. We're going to travel together. We're going to get breakfast together. We're going to, like, actually, if we have to sell as this, like, super tight-knit group, let's just become that group.
Easiest way to do it. Fake it till you make it.
So it's the interesting thing because everyone's like, wrestling's fake. And I used to yell that all the time. And I fucking know it is. But one, it doesn't matter if it's fake. When Rey Mysterio fucking, like, grabs your head with his ankles and flips you, That shit ain't fake.
So's John Wick, but like I like to watch John
That's
Wick.
the other, but I mean, even like compared to John Wick,
It's just action soap operas.
Yes, it's action soap operas, or as CC describes it, it's live action American anime. But like the physicality is still really real, even if you're not actually punching them that hard. Although, man, some of those Gunther chops do look like they fucking hurt.
What?
Gunther is a large German man that likes to slap you in the chest.
Okay, so that's the other. Okay. You told me that the internet loves Gunther. And since SummerSlam, I have gotten a little bit back into just like monitoring some of the social discourse around modern day wrestling as it appears online.
They love Gunther.
Why do people love Gunther? He was the most boring fucking top card. I mean, he wasn't the top, but you know what I mean.
No, but he's in the main event scene. He just got the second most important belt in WWE. He did have a good Intercontinental title run. He held it longer than anyone else. He does look intimidating, and those chops look like they fucking hurt. I don't know. I don't really like European wrestling that much, I'm realizing. So, the kind of major wrestling, like, meccas, Canada is weirdly into, like, really high-quality wrestlers come out of Canada.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico, that has...
Very technical wrestlers, too.
Yes, the Hart Family Dungeon. The Lucha Libres down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, which is just, what's the most insane shit that we can do?
Dude, I follow a couple people who follow the Josai League there, and it's fucking wild.
Yeah. And also, the people who are having a hard time making it in America go to Japan so they can just learn to be the most insane motherfuckers they can be, and then get snapped up back into America.
As insane motherfuckers.
And,
Love it.
like... Io Sky in War Games literally crawled up like 20 feet, put a trash can on herself, and just threw herself off the top onto someone as an attack. Like, and that was pretty tame for some Japanese wrestling that I've seen. Like,
That's fucking cool.
It is wild. Love Japan. Love Lucha Libre because they're all about those flips.
Yep.
And then European wrestling, which is very, like, stiff and chops and very, like, technical, very appropriate, blah, blah, but it's, like, a lot of, like, really big man, like, and I just don't find it interesting. Other than every once in a while, you will find, like, an Eastern European guy that looks like they just dragged him out of a ditch with a bottle of vodka and, like, put him in the ring and went, go!
I did have to double take at a customer the other day to make sure that they weren't Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn looks like he just got off the couch. Him and Kevin Owens, both, and they're like my two favorites.
And God, no, it's got it on my mind again. I don't know if I have the amount of time available to me to follow it as much as I kind of want to now.
Start watching Raw after we record on Mondays on YouTube. And,
But there's a part of me that would almost rather re-go through my heyday just to see what it is.
That shit. And,
just to see what it is like now.
He definitely, after we finish this, realized that there's basically 60 years of wrestling all on Peacock.
Holy
thousands of episodes.
fuck.
Like, we found stuff going back to the early 80s.
Guys, Peacock has one of the biggest fucking libraries I've
Peacock
seen.
actually is a great, like, its interface is a little janky, but, like,
Whatever.
Yeah.
if you want sitcoms or wrestling, it's the best.
Guys, it's got all of Columbo.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
It's got all of Murder, She Wrote.
Nice. But I did throw on, like, I scrolled down in the wrestling section because I was trying to find the Attitude Era stuff like you were showing me.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the interface is kind of janky. So it didn't come up as I could just go into the Attitude Era because I think I scrolled to the wrong part. But what did come up was just literally a section that was Attitude Era Monday Night Raws.
Yeah, there is
And I
also,
clicked the
like...
first one and I started watching it and I'm like, this is the most fun I've had in a while. And I got to the main event and I was like, I watched this episode as
Nice.
a 10-year-old.
That's fun.
I was like, I could tell you exactly how this fight is about to go because I watched this March 17th, 1997.
That's really fun.
I
Also, when the fuck did The Rock's family become half of WWE?
Oh, I mean, it was always that way, but really,
I mean, they
took
used to be
off
a
after.
quarter, and people didn't used to know.
So So The Rock is part of the Anawahi family, which is that's the other place. Samoa has a lot of wrestling,
Yes.
and the Anawahis basically ran it. So The Rock's grandfather and uncle and grandmother were basically the head of wrestling in Samoa.
Cool.
And then some of them started coming out because Haku was a wrestler. The head shrinkers, the
Tongan Kid.
Tonga kid Onizuka,
Yep.
who pretended he was a big sumo wrestler, but he's a Samoan man. And then like The Rock's father,
Yokozuna.
Yeah, thank you. The Rock's father was a wrestler and then married into that family, and
Rocky Johnson.
And then he came out as Rocky Maivia.
Which he still was when I watched that episode of Raw.
Shit. His fucking intro thing looked so dumb.
So that 1997 episode of Raw I watched, he was invited down to guest commentate on a match because he had just gotten the Intercontinental title.
Shit, early.
And was going to be defending it against the Sultan in WrestleMania coming up in like a month.
Shit.
And the Sultan wears a mask because when the Sultan takes off his mask, it's obvious that he's not Middle Eastern and is in fact Rikishi.
Who is also related to The Rock.
Who's Rock's
But
cousin.
that's the thing. So Rikishi had 3 kids. They all joined WWE. Haku had 2 or 3 kids. They all joined WWE. The Rock's daughter is in NXT currently. Fucking Roman Reigns is one of their cousins. Nia Jax, who we also watched, is one of their cousins. They also joined WWE.
Jesus Christ.
Another
family
one is the
affair.
kid. Another one is the kid of the Tongan Kid, who's one of Rock's cousins.
And then there's others. There's more that have not yet joined. But because Roman and the Usos weren't in this. They are Rikishi's twins.
Okay,
He had 3 kids, those 2, and Solo, who you saw here.
I saw Solo. Yeah.
Roman did a storyline where he created like a kind of like mob, so he started bringing in family. So he brought in the Usos to be with him, and then he brought in Solo Sikoa to be the enforcer. And then when they decided to do a bloodline civil war that they're setting up for, they're like, well, we have like 80 other Anawai family members, so let's just start bringing more of them in. And that's why we have Tamatonga, Tongaloa, Jacob Fatu, the man that just like hasn't shut his mouth for the entire just like it's a visual media, not a visual medium, so I can't, but just like at people the whole time.
Yes,
Fucking great.
that was pretty much it. Yep.
But like, okay, so do you remember? Did you know the Dudley Boys? Was that in?
Yeah, I
in
remember
your-
the Dudley Boys.
There's a fight where he's fighting one of the Usos, and he's like punching me, like, "This is for your mother. This is for your father. This is for your 42 cousins." And I'm like, that's not nearly as much as a joke as like we think it is. There's so many fucking Samoans in there.
Oh, that's great. And then I don't know. I'm still just tickled pink that K-Quick is still around.
R-Truth. That means nothing to you, but I have to do that because that's how I know him. Yeah, he's still doing splits too. It makes me angry. He's so good.
He was fantastic. I loved that. And what's super flamboyant homeboy? Because he immediately became my favorite.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah. He's 100% the best thing I've ever seen
get
in
that
the ring.
soundtrack stuck in his song a lot.
100%, maybe instantly in like, maybe not my favorite of all time, but like, this man is a professional wrestler.
He has the flair of like Ric Flair or Randy Savage, but incredible
Turned to
technical
11.
skill, and it's like and not nearly as much sentient cocaine as Randy Savage was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and Bash at Berlin is in about a month, and you should come out again, and we'll watch that again. But because we like having people It's fun to watch wrestling with people.
Yeah.
Like, is really what it is.
100% would agree, only in that, like, most of the times I've ever heard about people going to watch wrestling or boxing or any kind of thing like that is like, yeah, we're going to do a bunch of appetizers and we're going to just watch some boxing. We're going to watch wrestling.
I made wings. I made sausages. We had
delicious.
watermelon. We had root beer floats. We
So
fucking,
much watermelon.
How long is
That was about 3 hours.
they're like a long excursion. It's like the Super Bowl. Get people together and watch it like it's a fucking
And it varies. Not
event.
all of them are, but yeah, it's somewhere between 2 and 4 hours generally.
Yeah. Treat it like
what
an event.
I want to do is a podcast was talking about like this guy being like, oh, what I always do, because when he was a kid, he'd just get like a box of Frosted Flakes and eat that. So I kind of just want to get myself like a box of cereal and just eat cereal while watching wrestling because it sounds fun to me.
Can I recommend oat milk?
Yes. I
Goat
love
milk and raw burger. Oh.
Because oat milk is great, and it'll be a lot easier on your tummy to eat that much cereal with.
Oh, I was just gonna eat it dry. Just
Oh, that's even better. Do that.
tum tum. The thing that I read a couple of comics, I'm sure. But like the last thing I have on this, because I was talking with someone about it, is maybe the thing I respect or appreciate most about wrestling is the fact that it has given me a new thing to bond with and talk with my wife. Obviously, I love my wife. Obviously, we have all sorts of things that we are close about. But we have been together for 10 years. We have had the Star Wars conversation, just to pick one, approximately 718 times. Or the, whatever. Like, so, as someone, as a really long-term relationship, having something new that we can appreciate together is so valuable in a way that I did not realize how valuable it was until it gave us a whole new, like, avenue of things to discuss and be excited about.
With a huge backlog of stuff and new stuff to talk about.
And always new shit, yeah. Like, we will go home and watch Raw, like, which is one of the wrestling shows after this. It's
Nice.
just become our Monday night, like, tradition.
I kind of really want to put on another Attitude Raw tonight, now that we've talked about all
Yeah,
this.
good
but-
plan, man. They do have, you can just go by, like, wrestler career, so you could just watch the highlights of The Undertaker.
I mean, what I was thinking is just seeing what happened the very next Raw after the
Yeah,
one
that's
I
a
watched.
good way to go, too. But I'm just saying, if you're looking for other ways to do it, we are
Frickin'
actually talking...
Shawn Michaels showed up.
I do not get why people like Shawn Michaels, but
Oh my god.
he's talented. He's just a shithead.
I mean, yes, also true.
So we're actually talking about going to a live show because AEW is doing a show in Spokane, and AEW doesn't charge like $300 for a ticket.
Right.
It's like $80 for decent tickets.
They've got some good names on their roster these days, yeah.
Adam Copeland, Bryan Danielson. They've got a lot of newer people you would be less likely to know, like Swerve Strickland or MJF. I'm really hoping Danhausen's going to be there. Cece's favorite wrestler that just left WWE is joining AEW, so Ricochet might, probably not, but might be there. Timeless Tony Storm is amazing. I don't know them nearly as well, but also Grizz, who used to live with us, he's been on the show once or twice. His roommates watch AEW, so he's also gotten into it. So we're going to like hang out
gotcha.
with them, and they're going to kind of crash course us on...
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to a live show. And they're like, $80 and it's the smaller company. I'm like, okay. Like, that is more acceptable. Fucking WrestleMania, going to WrestleMania sounds like the worst thing on earth to me. To get good tickets is like $600. There's 80,000 people in that arena.
Nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
No matter where I'm seated, I am out.
Yeah,
It
like a
is
smaller weekly show sounds way better.
Sure. It is like a full day experience. And that $600 is just the, like, there's swag and shit with it, but like just the ticket. Food, I'm sure that you're going to want to get. Almost certainly hotel, because it's not coming to fucking Missoula. Whatever swag you end up buying, because God, wrestling is really built to get you to buy shit. Like,
Fuck, wrestling's great.
it's a lot of fun. We will do a wrestling episode. But let's take a quick break, and then let's talk about something else that's great. So for me, this is the season where, like, I know I keep being like, this is where Farscape takes off, but, like, I don't know. I feel like this season had a real like noticeable jump up.
There's things about this season I think I like more than any of the other seasons so far. Yet it somehow is the one that I had the hardest time paying attention
Both of
to.
you had this. I had
Same.
the exact opposite.
I feel like part of it's definitely my ADHD and just like procrastination buildup of like the longer I let something procrastinate, the harder it is for me to do the thing even still until it's done. But also just like I definitely binged it real late game in that like I watched through
Did you binge it too?
Yeah, I had a binge at late game.
I think maybe you just can't binge Farscape.
I think Farscape does not benefit from binging at all. I think it should be like a 2 episode at most per like day situation. And I'm gonna try to do that with the next chunk that we watch.
Yeah, I was getting caught up on some other things I'd let slide, but now I'm all caught up on everything. So like,
You can pace things a little easier.
we should be good.
Man, imagine if we got paid for this show and literally we could just watch it as we wanted and not have to work.
And
I
also,
would have watched it like 3 times and we would be golden.
There'd be notes and shit.
there was also a fucking storm that took out power and made us have to shift
Hurricane level
gears.
winds in a place that is not ready for that shit.
So we had to shift gears and ended up doing Shorzy instead of
No, I'm
this
not.
season,
I'm not
so-
judging on it. I'm sorry. I just.
But like no, I mean that was I think a factor in why it was so hard for me is that it then got like pushed back out of my time frame. It was like, well, fuck that thing. It's off the schedule and back on. I don't care about it anymore. Just kind of how my brain works. But I did enjoy it. There was definitely a lot of like fucking cool concepts they get into that are like, well, that's sci-fi as fuck.
I love the new. I mean, we're opening this up, so we'll talk about kind of the opening of the show. The new voiceover is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love the like, humanity isn't ready for this. Should I unleash them to the horrors? But also,
This
they
place
need to
is
see
incredible.
the wonders that I've seen.
Yeah.
I missed that for most of them. I watched one of the later episodes on my phone, and for some reason, it didn't autoplay through the credits.
Never autoplay through credits.
I think mine just like does it automatically. I don't remember. It might also be instinctual when I'm trying to cram through it.
I get that.
Yeah, fair.
Because if I've seen it once, I'll just like, well,
No, I get it. I'm sorry.
I don't need to see it again. I need to get through the main content. But yeah, no, very fucking cool.
Crichton. I mean, it kind of fits with Crichton's growth is so interesting. Because he's still Crichton. He's still that weirdo Earth lunatic that just really wants a Star Trek answer to things. But what he wants and what he's ready for are no longer the same thing. Like by season 3, because he's been out there, I have to assume, a couple of years. I always assume it is roughly the space of a year for a season. And I know that's often not true, but like...
I feel at some point they've mentioned how much time has gone by, but I cannot remember for the life of me what
Same.
that is.
I feel like it's been like a moment at least in that like it's by season 3. I feel like he's been out there at least a year to I'd say 2, somewhere in between that at the very least.
The point is, it's been a while. It's not
he's been out there.
Not even like 6 months in. Like he is acclimated to this world at this point. And the place where it really
as much as you can be.
As much as you can be. But like you can't really sell season 1 Crichton the same way. Like not ready for the fight or whatever like he was. He's become an action hero kind of by accident over time. And the place where it really kicked in the episode that really fucked me up is the time travel episode.
Oof, we'll get to that.
But yeah, but where he's just like fucking going shooty nuts and being watching, being like, wow, he's actually really good at this now. There's only so many years you can be beaten up by Aaron and Dargo all the goddamn time.
There is something about these first 2 episodes that is looked at heavily that does come back, but I wish was a bigger part of every episode.
Yeah.
And it is the new, the fact that he just has Harvey living in his head now. And that now he's like a slightly broken, slightly more deranged Crichton than he was when he first came to space. But to offset that, he has extra like sociopathic level of logic also tucked away in his brain that he can consult with.
Yeah, that is a thing they touched on a little bit later that I was like, I wish they'd done this more. They briefly touch on it with the Talon episode.
I want to say it'll get touched on more because I know that Harvey is going to be. I'm not going to say how long, but obviously the Harvey story is not done yet. I'm trying so hard not to spoil what little I remember from going forward, but I am not 100% sure where. I do remember everyone getting more and more unhinged honestly, from Zan leaving on.
Which, Zan leaving is definitely a huge thing for the show. I felt like it was a little rush, but I also understand this actor needing to be done.
Okay, so I don't remember if we've said this on air before or not, or if I've just, because I tell this a lot when talking about Farscape. The actress who played Zan was already having trouble with the heavy fucking recording schedule, especially having to wear all the makeup that she did, and she developed an allergy.
Head and eyebrows.
Yeah, it was fucking rough. And she developed an allergy to her makeup, and it was making her kidneys fail between the stress and the allergies and the
Oof.
She had to leave because she was gonna die if she kept doing this.
That's fair.
So I mean, legitimately, part of it was we are sort of rushed. We need to get her gone, and that has to be intense. That her makeup was more intense for her last couple of appearances. I know they wanted to bring her back for the final season, what became Peacekeeper Wars, but had to not.
My God, I hope the more makeup was a way to use different makeup, or
I don't know, but
or less prosthetics or something. I don't know, make it easier for her
because she's covered up a lot more. And they probably were able to put less makeup on for large parts of that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there were times where she had to be full body blue.
Yeah.
With all of the robes and scarves and stuff she was wearing because she was dying. You could probably get away with a lot less of that. But, anytime she has to take the thing down and there's, the polyps coming out and the, I don't know what it is that's sticky, but it's gross.
Yeah.
Sap. Just because she's plant-based, I'm going to guess sap.
Usually things look so good. All of her welts and sores or whatever all just looked way too evenly spaced to me, and it kind of took me out of it.
That's fair. I think
they were going for plant-like
that's
kind
what I'm
of
going
thing.
with, because she was a plant woman, that it's supposed to be
kind of formulaically growth.
But you're not wrong at the same time.
I do also understand where you're coming from.
But as it progressed, and so they had to put more, then it broke the pattern some, and so it looked better and better to me. But especially a couple of the early times, I'm just somebody just set a grid over your head.
Her final scene fucks me up.
It really does. But also, we kind of blasted past.
I'm sorry, I did
coming
not.
Back.
We have a lot of shit to talk about.
But this season also there's I want to get into the fucking twinning.
Oh, you can't not.
Right?
I'm waiting for that episode. I have been waiting for that episode since you guys agreed to watch this show.
Twins, Basil.
Twins, Basil. And I want to talk about it so bad, but there's so much shit that comes up before that.
Okay, so we don't necessarily need to do episode by episode, but let's definitely start. We ended last season with Aaron Soon dead, Crichton
on the table
with losing the ability to speak,
and
with his head cut open, and the doctor dead.
Yeah.
And Scorpius fucking Empire Strikes Backing Hoth.
Yes, but I think we were also all in agreement that the Aaron Soon being dead was not too worrying, because
for sure
she comes back more than an average X-Men.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. But oh, and also fucking what's his name? Jothi being the worst character to ever exist.
Okay, so I didn't have the language for this before.
But real quick, my point of this is that season ending had fucking more twists than like the Best of Both Worlds Part 1 ending with Riker firing on Picard as Borg, which is considered the greatest season finale of a science fiction show. Like,
Jotham reminds me of Dominic Mysterio.
oh no. Oh, it means nothing to Steven, and you just gave me like such a whole new... You know how I was just talking about how much I appreciate that like wrestling gave me a new conversation with my wife? You just gave me like 4.
Yes.
New personal goal.
Oh my God.
Give Zach and Cece's wife.
Cece's wife?
You, your Cece's wife, just as much as I am.
That's my
partner's
wife.
I'm gonna try and give you things to talk about now.
So, real quick crash course, just because I can't leave. The greatest luchador of all time, arguably, is a man named Rey Mysterio. Mm-hmm. His son joined, and at first was playing like a goody-goody, like Two Shoes character with him, and then turns on his dad and becomes the most hated heel of all time.
Oh, shit.
He has trouble doing promos because people will just start booing him so loud. And it's like part of the joke. He's really good at his job.
He managed to become a bigger heel.
And then at SummerSlam, and he's already a huge heel, but because Rhea is so beloved and she liked him, he was not doing a face turn, but like if they wanted to, they could have forced one. Mm-hmm. And instead, they did a double heel turn.
They could have at least tried to force one.
Mm-hmm. She could have made him a face just from the power of her legs. Like,
yes.
But he turned on her to make her a mega baby, like mega face, mega hero character, and made him so hated. He can't, like, before he would start to, like, say something, they'd all bow him out. Like, he can't be in the ring right now without just, like, I'm expecting them to start throwing trash at him, like when Hulk fucking turned into NWO. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't like Jotham. Jotham's a little fuck.
They look kind of similar.
Skinny and kind of wormy looking.
Jotham's a little homewrecker. But also at the same time,
in fairness, it's not 100% Jotham's fault. Jotham is just really hateable.
I mean, and like, why am I completely blanking her name?
Chiana,
thank you. She is definitely at one point says like, oh yeah, I knew this was a bad idea and I specifically used you to end this thing because this was easier to do than the other way around.
If you have not watched this, or if you just don't remember from last season, so Jotham is Dargo's son. Dargo has been pursuing Jotham since episode 1. I mean, I think we find out about Jotham like within the first 5 episodes, kind of thing.
Sounds
like,
right.
Yeah, like it's his primal motivation within season 1. We find out.
Also,
forward.
his secondary motivation is he has started dating Chiana, and the age of all of these characters is a little uncertain.
Yeah, they definitely like imply that like Chiana's like early 20s, kind of like,
and Jotham's like maybe is like 18, and Dargo's probably about 40.
Yeah.
I was about to say, well...
But it's also hard to say because they're aliens, because we don't know necessarily, like... And we know that Scaren's probably too, but...
Luxons.
I don't know about Luxons, but...
Nabari?
Sebaceans. Sebaceans are at least long-lived, so I imagine Luxons are somewhat something or another.
It's kind of a thing when talking in sci-fi, because there'll be a lot of like, well, actually, this species only lives... No, you just kind of have to, like... put it in roughly human years just to understand.
Yeah, you have to like scale it regardless.
Yeah, if you say an elf is 200 years old, that means fucking nothing to you. But you're like, oh, that elf is like 20 in human years. Got it. Cool.
Right. I feel
it's like a dog year conversion thing. It doesn't make sense overall, but you just do it because it makes more sense.
We've interrupted you like 4 times here.
I feel like prior to them having to point out the age difference in their relationship, it was implied that Chi was roughly like 22 and that Dargo was like roughly 35. And then once they started pointing it out, it's more like she's roughly 20 and he's more like 45.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give 40. I think he had his kid pretty early.
It definitely starts out with more of an implication of like closer in age, but still
We always
like,
know that he's older.
He's older for sure. He has a child who is now older.
But we didn't even know for sure how old Jotham was until we saw him, because we only saw creepy, oversized head baby Jotham before. Like,
yes,
he's been gone. We knew he'd been there for a while, but
yeah,
like
something
it's
like
just
8 cycles or something, or I can't remember offhand. That sounds right in my head.
I was thinking somewhere around 10. So yeah, 8 is
8 or
probably
10 or
correct,
something.
yeah.
He was chained up for a while.
Yes.
Which like, so I was imagining when we first introduced Jotham, I was imagining something like 8 or 10, not quite 18-ish.
Yeah, 18, 19.
We're gonna go with 18-ish to make it less weird.
Yeah, he's definitely like.
I mean, I would guess at the oldest 20.
Within the universe, he's like a young adult who is like
an adult,
but still like this motherfucker's young and impressionable still. Doesn't know the way of the world, but is, like it or not, an adult, and it's gonna chew him up either way. Also, yeah, doesn't look good. I don't like the look of him, especially with the cut off tendrils.
The kind of yellowish slave outfit that he was wearing for large parts of it don't help. It's just like the coloring was weird.
Yeah.
But I don't like, none of that feels like you're supposed to like Jotham. Like, not a single.
I could not tell you what fucking happens to him, in all honesty, after him and she break up.
He leaves.
Oh, he just leaves?
Yeah, he's like, I gotta, like the saying one word.
He's like, I cannot be in the, like, I just slept.
Dad kind of hates me right now.
I slept with my dad's fiance, and he fucking
it.
burned on the engagement tattoos.
And see, I remember all of that, but I did not remember him leaving. I was just like,
we don't
he's
see
just
it.
Gone.
He has that conversation, and he talks about how he's going to go, and we find out.
Does he try to get Chi to go with him?
No, he just kind of is like, so you did this on purpose, right? Okay, so we've still not talked about, like...
Look, but we have covered a lot of this season, so...
we've touched on a lot of it.
So, Aaron is dead. Crichton is wanting to die. The doctor is somehow not dead. Like, the doctor is killed and then brought back to life through Deus Ex Machina because they needed a way to get out of this.
Yeah, and they needed to fix Crichton enough that they could have
Crichton does not come back right. He never comes back quite right, but, like, I think this is, and as you talked about, like, this ends with him being able to kind of control the neural clone, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Which also reminded me of Lash.
Lash?
Dresden Files.
Oh, yeah.
But I find that also very interesting that the Harvey thing is going on, considering that this show was kind of like the big hit for sci-fi right before Battlestar Galactica. And then it's almost like warming and teeing us.
Baltar had
Head Six.
Similar,
yeah. Fucking love Head Six. Head Six.
I don't know, the first episode of this, I was reading like a review of this season. The first episode of this season is called Season of Death.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels really fucking applicable to the entire...
It's like, hey, you guys are calling the shot or something for the rest of the season.
It was interesting to watch Scorpius be on the back foot in that first episode, but like I don't have too much to say about like because real Scorpius is trapped on the planet with them, and he needs to survive long enough to get away while there's the very murderous crew of Moya ready to cause him damage. And we've never really seen him on the back foot, but even then he was only kind of... Like, they did a good job of doing that without making Scorpius less dangerous.
So, homie that Scorpius takes control of, Gruncheck, technically showed up last season.
Yeah, he was introduced last season.
Did we note who that guy is?
No.
Do you guys know who that is?
That's Immortan Joe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Hugh Keys-Byrne.
Holy shit! I didn't recognize him. That's cool.
Yeah, that's Toe Cutter.
That's fucking cool.
You will recognize him if you see him again.
I imagine.
Anyway, I had to throw that out there. I was like, Hugh Keys-Byrne?
Yeah, fucking he's there. He gets fucked up by Scorpius and is like controlled by him. And there's also another scare in that like he double crossed and is now like unfrozen.
There's a lot of like, how are we going to get out of this while trapped? But I think kind of the, other than like setting the stakes at a whole new level of high, the most important parts of this is, one, Aaron is back alive again.
What like died, but like her spirit wasn't so far away from her body that Zan could theoretically do some spiritual stuff and pull her back to this mortal coil.
But it is costing Zan her life.
But it did some damage to Zan.
I just had a realization. I think the fact that I had such a hard time paying attention to this season, but also combined with the way that we've been talking about this season and jumping around so far, I think it's because this show has gotten to the point where like what the action that is happening is almost the least important part of what's actually happening most of the time.
Well, and it's, the action is standard good and like reliably good at this point, but like, and now they fight a Scaran, and now they like, it's kind of...
But it's so much more about how these characters are interacting.
It's
right.
What we were talking about with this is like this and Deep Space Nine and definitely Battlestar Galactica after it, which is not Monster Week, is kind of where science fiction on TV shifted from Monster of the Week to full ongoing season arcs much more heavily.
You talking about this fully makes me want to make you guys do at least a season of X-Files.
I've always been interested, at least a couple episodes.
I fucking love it. I've watched it several times at this point. It was a show my mom watched that terrified me as a child, but it is very much Monster of the Week, and it gets really weird as it goes, but it's really well crafted.
Yeah, I've always been interested in checking out more than I ever have.
And it very much is about like the character growth over the season, but like every episode's action is just kind of like fucking kind of the same relative setup of like weird sci-fi shit happens.
It's how you make a Monster of the Week show work. As much as we've talked about missing the Monster of the Week format over the show and stuff, but there was plenty of fucking awful Monster of the Week shows that we don't remember or talk about or whatever. That Cleopatra one that had
Oh, Cleopatra 2525?
yeah, the one that had the lady from Firefly in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like forgettably bad ones. The way that you make them good is, yes, there is single adventure stories, but the characters have to be compelling and they have to have their kind of more subtle character arcs between them to grow the story, even if it's just like, and now we're going to fight a plant monster.
Because I was going to say, I hardly remember a thing that happens in like episode 2, because for me, that's the Dargo finds out about Jothi and Chiana episode.
Yeah.
That kind of overshadows
That
almost everything
I've got this list in front of me. Let's, just because I'm curious, and it really is the important part. Sons and Lovers. Oh, it is. They're all on that station, and it's like hit by asteroids or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is. The main storyline is absolutely the B plot. It's the character interaction is the A plot. This is also where this is also where Dargo gets super suicidal for a while.
Right. I forgot that this was the same episode for some reason.
I kept thinking that was two different ones as well. Because Dargo finds out that his son, who he's put all his time into rescuing, has been banging his fiance, and then he fucks up his son, who he's already like fucked up over and is already fucked up. And he goes from like, nah, fuck all y'all, to sure, I'll go do the thing that needs doing, but it's only because I think it's gonna get me killed. Dargo actually has a really interesting character arc in these episodes that we've seen, because like Dargo is in the wrong with how he's treating Chiana and Joffy. Their behavior back at him is at least as wrong. I am not trying to like, don't fuck your boyfriend's son to like ruin that relationship.
Yeah, don't
That's a
fuck your
rough
boyfriend's son. Full
Okay,
stop.
yes.
Great place to end there. But
like-
also in general, don't do it so you can end a relationship that you're uncomfortable with.
Yeah, don't cheat on someone to blow up a relationship. Like, that's just a rough way to live life.
You don't cheat.
Okay, you know what? We keep getting my sentences shorter, but you get the points that I'm trying to make here. But, like, Dargo was wrong. He was not listening to them or even, like, really considering their wants or needs.
You also don't tattoo someone without their consent, Dargo.
Again, Dargo was wrong. He reacts at first with insane anger, which his response is wrong, but also his anger is really understandable.
Yeah, we get it. You're angry. You also got the Lux and hyper rage going.
He dives into like suicidal, which again, trigger warning if you need that for that. Like it is. I don't think it's distastefully done.
And it's also it's not like in a way of like he's going to kill himself. He is just like recklessly.
He's
willing to
recklessly
die.
setting himself up into places where he could easily die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which still not good, but like just to clarify that for people.
Yeah, we're not getting like graphic attempt scenes.
Yeah.
But and then like the complicated relationship of like Chiana's not leaving the ship. He's not leaving the ship. So they have to learn how to deal with each other. He has to learn that he still like for various reasons he can't go back to what he was with Chiana, but he still cares about her. And he gets to examine that. Or like in an episode or two, he will have a conversation with Crichton about the things that he did wrong to lead to that situation. It was a remarkably mature, like, approach to this. I mean, this is such a soap opera relationship moment, but like, such a remarkably mature look at the destruction of a relationship and the aftermath for a fucking Monster of the Week Muppets science fiction show.
Rigel's not in this season as this half of the season for me as much. He didn't stick with me.
There's the one spot where I think about Rigel, but I want to finish this conversation first.
When all of that goes down and the relationship blows up is when I suddenly felt the most for everyone else on the ship. As someone who has lived with a former couple that had been engaged at one point.
Yeah,
Oof.
that's rough.
I can say from experience that it creates a very awkward atmosphere.
Because they were fucking a lot. We all agreed.
Oh yeah,
Not
they
all
were
agreed,
fucking
they
all the
showed
time.
us.
Oh yeah, all the time. It was a thing we talked about, how much Dargo changed because of how much he was fucking. I just wanted to bring that up, apparently.
Well, and also
I don't have more
Dargo's,
to that thought.
Dargo's entire life mission is gone now. Like, it's just not there anymore.
Right, like he has nothing else.
The two things he had going for him was gotta find my son and
found
Manic
this
Pixie Dream Girl.
100% manic, but oh my goodness, I've never thought about it in that
Gianna's
context.
maybe why I love Manic Pixie Dream Girl so much. Like in the
Ramona
same way that
Flowers, but I get
Ooh,
it.
Yeah, Ramona.
Heard.
But like he lost everything in that moment in a way that like it doesn't immediately seem like. But credit to the growth that he's made, and like Zan talks about this a little bit, not in the same way, not being like, wow, I thought you were gonna fall apart a lot more than you were, but like you don't need me in the same way that you did a couple of years ago. I don't know. I guess that's just what I have with Dargo so far. His character growth is really interesting because suddenly everything about him has to change while he still has to be Dargo.
I don't know if I really have anything to add. It's just kind of like the big part of the episode. Like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now we all have to live with this.
Yep, that happened, and now they're done with that. So
Thank God Jothy's gone.
Fuck.
Yeah, thank God Joffrey's done.
Rigel's got 2 good moments, but they are coming up they'll come up in like an episode or so. So like, there's a few things I think.
I do remember one.
But he's
specific
also
moment.
terrible still, and I still think we should leave him on a fucking asteroid.
No,
somewhere.
there's no forgiveness for Rigel in any of this. I'm not. I
just meant like character arc wise for the season so far. He's
got one moment that makes me feel emotions, and he's got one moment that makes me laugh really hard.
Then it goes to self-inflicted wounds, coulda, woulda, shoulda, which is they merge with the hyperspace ship or the wormhole ship.
Oh yeah, the 2-parter.
There is an alien species that interacts with wormhole that like travels through wormholes.
Yeah, they're researching wormholes and they know about wormhole technology.
And they have basically everything Crichton has ever wanted. But something goes wrong and their ship gets merged with Moya, which is killing Moya. And I think Crichton kind of gets a bad rap from the crew of Moya, but I also get why.
That was the first thing I was going to bring up. Like, I guess I kind of overall get it, but it kind of bugged me how much for a show that's usually seems to be a little bit more intricate and allows a little bit more nuance across the characters that they have, since they have a number of them, how much a few of them were like, nah, Crichton gets way too blinded by fucking wormholes.
And I think like that is Crichton is very determined, because they're all like, we need to save Moya, and Crichton's like, but we should also save this wormhole tech. Like, again, he kind of wants that Star Trek best
I can
of
have
both
it all kind of situation.
And they don't give a fuck about wormholes, so every time he's thinking about wormholes, they're like, what's wrong with you, pilot, right now? But also, he's and maybe it's just because the moments with it are quieter, but like, he's looking through the wormhole stuff, sitting next to a comatose pilot, being like, God, I wish you were here to see this. This is so cool. Or when he's talking to Erin, being like, what's the state of Moya? And she's like, if this wasn't Moya, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. We'd be gone already. But it's Moya. So, like, So I thought that they were a little unfair to Crichton, but I also get that they're like, holy shit, mommy ship is dying. And he's just like, but the wormholes.
The wormhole snake was dope. Also,
Snake was dope.
That's my takeaway from the episode. Is
kind
that
of
the
looks like
wormhole
Prisoner
snake
Zero from Doctor Who.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're not wrong. Yeah, that's about it. Like, they introduce a character that comes up later.
Oh, Jewel.
Spelled the same way as the vape.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Jool.
Isn't the vape Juul?
Shut up. Not spelled the same way as the vape.
He's trying to Mandela effects this.
Did you say Mengele effects?
Oh God! It's a much different effect.
I just misheard you, but I just had a moment of like, hold up.
Given how often I slur my words and am bad at pronunciating things, I could have said this. I was definitely trying to say
Mandala.
Mandela.
All right, moving on, because we were just making this worse as the more we talk. So Jewel is introduced. I think there are so I don't like Jewel. You're not really supposed to like Jewel.
She gives me preppy Valley Girl, college girl vibes.
Okay, legit, I kind of like Jewel more than Stark.
I love Stark, but that's okay. So here's my thing.
I agree with Zach. No, it's with Tyler. Sorry.
I do want to hear about this.
I don't care for Stark as much as I like Jewel, but I don't like Jewel.
Here is my kind of thing on this with Jewel. One, she reminds me of Bonnie Langford's character Mel from Doctor Who was literally hired because of how good she could scream. And she was a good actress and actually came back in the most recent season of Doctor Who and was given shit to do. In the original, she was a computer programmer and they never even put her near a computer in her entire run on Doctor Who. That's how bad they treated her.
Fuck, that sucks.
But I mean, it doesn't help it doesn't hurt that they both have curly orange hair. But Jewel's scream is impressive and annoying. So that's kind of my problem with. But it kind of fits in with what we were talking about earlier of Crichton is not the fresh blood anymore. He's not the new meat. He's acclimated to this world, and they kind of needed someone not ready for shit anymore. Or not ready for shit. Like, in the way that Crichton was in season one, that he's not now. The problem is, Crichton looked at all of it from, like, an area of interest as well as horror, and she just screams a lot. And I'm actually really sympathetic. Like, there's that moment where she's like, I'm gonna be fucking eaten, so I better just shoot myself in the head because everything is terrible. That was real fucking heavy and pretty well acted, and it really made me feel for her. But she was still fucking annoying in that scene.
She's a sensory nightmare character for me. People who complain constantly and people who scream are not characters I can get behind.
I am amused that they use the same, like, something melting shot in, like, 6 different places. Because when she screams, it makes, like, metal melt. They use the same image, like, 4 times in it.
I mean, do you know how hard it is to get that melting effect?
No, I get it. I just think it's funny.
You get one good take that works, you use it.
For me, she's the correct balance for Rigel. Not like she balances him, not that she balances him out, but like she's the amount of annoying yet useful. Like you can like useful, and like you can understand her being on the ship that like the Rigel character should have been, rather than me wanting to still punt him off the ship.
I think maybe the way that it works better with her and the way you're talking about is we do see when Rigel is useful, but it's not often, and it usually leads to other problems because he's the person that can do the negotiating or whatever, like his Dominar shit. And we see it every once in a while, and he's actually pretty good at it. But 1, it's not uncommon for shit to go sideways for plot required reasons. And 2, we only see it sometimes. While she has to quickly become the new science/medical officer that Zan was.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's a lot more common in an episode to see something like, oh, I bandaged his head, or did this test, or so, like, we see her value quicker.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's with Stark that you don't? Because you both were pretty fond of Stark when you first met him.
No, I wanted to like Stark more than I did when I first met him, and he's just never turned out to be anything that I care about.
He's just a weirdo that they'd never explain.
Okay. I'm sounding like way more defensive of Stark than I'm meaning to. Part of it is I just love his visual design so much, but
it's fine. It's a little too.
I've watched Phantom of the Opera. Like,
it's a Phantom of the Opera crossed with Man in the Iron Mask, with a little BDSM, little flair on it.
a little bit of Zorn.
A little bit of Zorn.
I kind of enjoy some of his stuff with Rigel a little later on.
I enjoy when he punches Rigel.
That's true.
Otherwise, like, some of that stuff was also some of the, like, I agree that some of that was like the stuff I really liked with him, as much as I do like stuff with him, but some of it also later on, they seem to flanderize him in a very dumb way. Like, he starts getting more exaggerated post-Zan, as he should, but the direction they took him, his
insanity is becoming real as opposed to the, like...
It was almost performative before.
Well, I mean, it was performative.
Yeah.
He was pretending to be insane, so no one would take him that seriously. And then, like, as he slowly loses his mind, and he keeps getting exposed to the death of species. Like, that's happened to him, like, 3 times now, so I actually, like, am pretty sympathetic for his quickly deteriorating mental health.
Yeah, that sounds bad. I wouldn't like that.
But, like, it is... I don't know if it's lazy or interesting that, like, as he loses his mind, he becomes the character he was pretending to be.
And and I felt like when you explain it like that, it actually, like, is interesting, but it leaves him in a spot where I still wish for more.
I also felt like his connection with Zan felt half-baked.
quick.
Yeah.
I think part of that might be, again, Zan wasn't supposed to leave. And-
That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. And if I
when
remembered that,
I have an
get that.
assumption that relationship would have developed more over time if she hadn't left, but where they wanted Stark to be after she did leave required a couple of hop, skips, and jumps.
But like even still, when she leaves, yeah, he's like fucking a little bit turned up to 11.
They jump to The Man I Love, for example,
Pretty quick.
real fast. Oh, with Rigel, the two things that made me like the stick out for Rigel here, because we kind of jumped over.
Uh-huh.
One, where Stark is like, well, Pilot likes you. And Rigel's like, no one likes me. And then like decides that he's going to stay with Moya because Pilot likes me.
That was a
And then
very good
later
bit.
on is just sitting there like stroking Pilot's arm. Being like, I like you too, Pilot. And like, what the fuck, man?
Okay, homie likes it when people likes him.
I get it, but like, how weird does that have to be for Pilot, who does not know about the other conversations?
But also, like, at the same time, it's so telling of Rigel that he just wants anybody to not hate him.
Well, he's such a shithead. And then the other one is the one that made me feel emotions is all of them were fucking me up when they were saying goodbye to Zan, but for some reason, something about Rigel saying goodbye, you beautiful blue bitch. And I was just like, oh god. Like,
Yeah. That did.
As someone who gets emotional at shows a lot, I'm surprised by how little I was affected by
I cried.
Zan leaving.
yeah, I thought that one was gonna fuck you up
Nah.
more. You liked Zan too.
Yeah, she's great, but like it didn't do it.
I was a little
They've
lost.
deadened me to death on this show.
Yeah,
I even know she doesn't come back, and it's still like cool, whatever.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but also at the same time, I feel like I was a little lost in the sauce of like, are you honestly going to like? I know they were setting up. I knew that they were setting up Zan was going to die, and this is the thing that we like had talked about off mic, but I knew that was a thing, and just like I still was like, okay, so she's not coming back, but like, so you're replacing Zan with Jewel.
They transferred some of they at least I think you were supposed to transfer some of Zan's stuff to Stark. Like, oh, you have to watch after Moya for me, and then he fucking immediately leaves Moya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that didn't really. I think they just went. I don't know what to do with that. Like that was an idea that I think they quickly went. I don't really know. And then like we'll replace the science stuff with Jewel. But there's no one to actually like, especially because Stark is not emotionally equipped for it, to take over the part of Zan that helps smooth things over and keep them together. And I think it's telling that immediately after she dies, almost, they split in half. For, like, storyline reasons and whatever, but, like, not insignificant. And I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't impact me as much as I was expecting it to / thought it was wanting it to.
I know I definitely talked about it off mic, that Zan was not going to be in this. I think partly because you guys had found some later season pictures without her in it.
I think that's also because like just of Peacock of where I'm watching it, like it cycles through a couple of different photo options for it, and just like, well, there's a couple of people that just aren't Zan.
Yeah, because there's one with Chiana, and I want to say like I think her name is Sakozu, a character who comes later, sitting with Crichton, and you were like, "Who are these people?
Like, why should I care about them?" But that's just kind of a inherent problem with Peacock's streaming platform. So
Well, and just a problem with watching a show that ended 20 years ago.
yeah,
Do we want to talk about, because we're at the time travel episode that fucking haunts me. This episode breaks me in half.
because they fuck it up and it's just left like that.
But like, yeah, it is maybe the only one-off episode we have of this, but it's usually when usually when it's a one-off episode in like a character-heavy season, it is forgettable and annoying. It's a filler episode. This does not feel like a filler episode. This is, the classic Star Trek trope of we went back in time and now we have to keep things as close as possible to not destroy the future, but then repeatedly just kicked you in the dick the entire time.
Yeah, it kicks you in the dick the entire time. I don't even remember almost all that happens. I just remember getting to the end and being like, wait, there's not another 10 minutes for them to get this right?
Yeah.
So the basic plot, they find this. There's a place where
there's like a monument, peace monument or
a
something.
peace monument where like nuns had been under a monastery had been under attack, and the nuns managed to like surrender and make peace and something. It's not really important. But
It's like peace broke out at the Alamo.
yeah, literally yes. And if you ignore the true history of the Alamo, it's a really inspiring story. And then, but you can like literally see this because of the fissure, like some kind of like time fissure thing happening.
Yeah.
But thanks to weird Stark glowy madness, they all get thrown in the past. And as Crichton is like, I have seen this episode of Star Trek. I know what we must do. Things keep getting incrementally worse to the point that like
the whole fucking planet eventually disappears.
because the people on Moya are just watching like the planet, like the peace thing disappears. The planet's molten scrap. The planet's gone.
You guys fucked this up so hard.
And like Crichton and Aaron keep trying to like, oh, here, let's have this moment happen. This is a moment that has to happen. And then it goes wrong or it doesn't work because it turns out that just changing things slightly, like it's really kind of butterfly effect even further.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, this was right, but this other small thing changed and it wildly affects the story. And they finally think that they fixed it.
Yeah, you guys fixed the thing that happens, but you still missed the first part of the thing by fucking that up.
But there's no way for them to, like, know that. Like, that's kind of the real tragedy of it, of the thing that did get changed that they couldn't help themselves because it hadn't happened before. It ends with everyone in that peace thing who had, like, lived and great moment of peace dead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a monument to peace. It's a monument to their slaughter in remembrance of them.
And it's fucked.
It's real fucked.
It is an episode that I don't want to watch again anytime soon. But as I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is like, as a one-off episode, maybe one of the best designed one-off episodes I think Farscape has done.
No, that was it's a really good episode, but I was like I said, I got to the end of it and was like, oh, that's they ended
Season
that
of Death, y'all.
sucks.
I mean, that's also fucking the trend of Farscape. It
Yeah.
is just they leave fucking trauma in their wake wherever they go. They fuck up every situation they are in beyond irrevocable,
But they're increasingly bigger scale in their shit, because, like, it's not in this episode, but there was one where they were talking about the stuff that they've done. And,
Oh, yeah.
like, people are like, we're realizing that they're fucking legends of the galaxy now because they keep
like
bungling upwards.
Well, because that's actually kind of neat in itself, because I feel like a lot of shows that especially do lean in so much into the Monster of the Week format, like there's like they never become legends.
Mm-hmm.
They're continually, whoever it is, whoever it's centering around, are continually these wandering, like, pop into a situation, deal with it, pop out. Pop into a situation, deal with it, pop out. But this one, it's actually adding up.
We blew up the Gamic base. We've done this. And everyone's like, holy, you guys are terrifying.
And, like, they've legitimately done things that people would hear about. So they're treating it like that. And I actually really appreciate that. Oh, then it's what is it? Eat Me?
Another classic sci-fi trope that I kind of love. It's, let's save money by using the normal sets, but make them just slightly wrong and have it be a different ship of the same class.
but also sets up a different sci-fi trope that will be a thing that I imagine is explored for the rest of the season.
And that, I mean, I don't have much to say about this episode other than the final bit, other than, like, it's a pretty well done, like, little bottle horror.
This is a really fucking good horror episode, and I did not expect it twisting into what it twists into.
No, yeah, same.
In season 2. Okay, so it ends with there are now 2 Crichtons.
Yeah, basically
Classic sci-fi trope.
There's a mad scientist who has a ability to basically carbon copy clone humans, anybody basically, and does it to Crichton,
But
Dargo, and Chi.
when we were talking about my 3 Crichtons in season 2, and y'all were like, oh yeah, classic sci-fi trope, like you talked about how it happens with Riker. One of you said something about like it would be really interesting if that like were used further in story, and I'm just like, I can't say a word.
Well, between then and now, we also talked about the Star Trek teleporter problem over on Word Balloons.
Yeah. And,
Which is very similar.
And then you were like, no, we've sort of explored this before, like the Boimler clone. And I'm just keep being like, yep, that's an example.
I do feel like there's a difference with this one though, because I when we talked about it on Word Balloons, I think we all came down on the like, whatever, the clone is me.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, we've seen what happens when somebody is twinned too many times, and it does seem to have a deleterious effect. And I would definitely want to know if I was the original or the clone.
Given how fucked up my brain is already in Crichton's situation, I would definitely want to know.
But here's I don't get me wrong, I fully get it why both Crichtons are obsessed with knowing it first. But I mean, it really seems like there is no way
Right.
to know.
In general terms, I'm okay with it. When it's shown to have a deleterious effect.
And I think that's the most horrifying part, is that he can't really know, but he knows that if...
I will say it does seem like you have to be twinned
A lot of times
for it to happen, to have a really deleterious effect.
But we don't know the long-term effects either, because it was a
True.
mad scientist in charge of it.
True, very much so. Also, suddenly you just have 2 Crichtons. Like, that's a lot to deal with. And also ending the episode with them rock, paper, scissoring each other into... in perfect sequence, in perfect tie, is fucking creepy. Like,
such a fucking scary episode. But not scary, but like creepy, unsettling episode.
Which leads into, I think, not the more interesting episode, but a very interesting episode, which has great character moments, has fun stuff, has other aliens B-plot, main storyline kind of thing that I don't give a fuck about. There's some sort of line of succession bullshit battle happening between these family members.
Right, this is the one where they're having to do a trade deal inside Wakanda while they're having a Game of Thrones moment.
Yes, that's a very good description of it. Holy shit.
This is also the only
there's
episode...
the Truth Lobster.
This is the only other episode where Rigel is like...
Kind of useful.
And that I remember him doing
Because
anything.
this is where Rigel is useful.
Negotiating bullshit.
It's like playing the bard in D&D. You're only useful in extremely specific situations.
Oh, and he's the worst bard.
He is. He's the bard that somehow put all his points into commerce. Like,
although once you get a high level bard, you can do anything you want, basically.
you can do some wild fucking shit, yeah.
Bard with like a 2 in charisma.
But like the Game of Thrones plotline stuff going on is not that interesting, other than, and I do love it when Farscape does this, where they're all basically
It gets horny?
like, well, that too, but where they're like, I do not care with what the fuck you have going on. We are trying to get some shit done right now. Like,
I love that part of this episode where he's like,
So
I legitimately, you guys keep bringing this up. I don't care. I have no connection to what's going on in this planet. We have our own fucking problems. Please let us go deal with our fucking problems and make money off of it.
And being able to lie with the lying brain crab or whatever it is of having 2 Crichtons, of like, this one legitimately didn't know any of this stuff. Didn't do anything.
I saw that
still don't
coming,
care.
and I still loved that it was paid off so well.
it was really well done.
It's really well paid off. I did not see it coming because I got really baked before that episode.
I think I saw
Which
it
is
coming
surprising.
because I got really baked before that episode.
Well, and I like that there's a moment in that where you're like, oh, they're going to kill one of the Crichtons. Like, that's how they'll fix this.
I had a moment of that because I was like, am I wrong?
Oh, yep, that Crichton got blown up, but luckily there's another one, and now he can be more traumatized by watching himself die. Nope. They save him.
Okay, I guess this is just going to be a thing for now.
The other bit that I love of this is the part where Crichton and Dargo go down to threaten the shitty princeling, and don't lie to Daddy, don't lie to tell them who Daddy is, Dargo, and Dargo just going, I am Daddy.
Dargo has some really good line reads this season.
I mentioned YouTube is the thing that like YouTube's like, you want to watch this Farscape clip, and that's why we're here right now. It was this scene. It was Dargo going, I'm Daddy. And I was like, it's time.
It's amazing.
This is also the one where like Talon and Christ show back up, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're
we
trying
got
to
it
get
at the end of the last episode. Krace and Talon are all fucked up because they've been attacked by a Peacekeeper Special Forces unit. And they are getting stuff to fix
Talon.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Krace, who remains as creepy as ever, which again is so much credit to that actor who plays both Krace and Pilot, two such wildly different characters, reveals, because he had a I wish we could have told her that before she died moment with Talon at the end of season 2. And it turns out that what he wanted to tell her, what he knew, is that the person chasing him is Zalek Sun, who is Aaron's mother.
Dun dun dun.
More specifically, he wanted to softball that with some fucking archival footage he found of her mom telling her that yeah, no, your dad Talon and me, we had you intentionally. They told you that you're just, a fucking peacekeeper.
You were born of love.
But no, we fucked because we wanted you.
And each other.
But mostly we wanted. I got a bone down on Talon. Oh God, and
meanwhile, Krace is trying so hard to seduce her or something.
Which
it's so
is
weird.
So fucking weird. It never makes sense. And I'm like,
it does if you look at Krace. Krace has all of that training of peacekeeper superiority. Mm-hmm. She is one of the only peacekeepers, because I'm sure he doesn't really count Scorpius. She is one of the only peacekeepers who has beaten him. She is the only other peacekeeper in his mind who has seen the flaws in peacekeeper society, but they still run peacekeepers. Because Aaron is still a peacekeeper in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. And also, he has been trained since birth to despise other races. So she's literally the only other option. The only option.
And she's fucking Claudia Bellac, so she's gorgeous.
So I get it from that regard, but the amount of game he's trying to spit of
also
fucking dial it back, my guy. You you act like she's throwing out a lot of vibes.
But let's look at that from the place of privilege he was in. He was the captain of the ship, and in a world where if you wanted to have sex, you just had sex, because why the fuck not? Let's get some physical activity out. I'm sure the amount that he was able to throw around, I'm the captain, to get laid was overwhelming. So now he's well, I'm the captain of Talon, and everyone's we don't fucking care.
So what?
Fuck off, dude. So he still has all of that ego and privilege that is what fucking destroyed his everything in the first place. Mm-hmm. But now doing it from the Vegeta side of I'm the good bad guy. Kind of. And he thinks he's hot shit, despite the fact that he is this. That's it. He thinks he's the good bad guy, and he thinks he's hot shit, and he doesn't realize how fucking smarmy he is.
And he doesn't even think he's the bad guy. He thinks he's just still a good guy. He's just the world's against me.
He thinks he's the hero of the story. He thinks he's...
You killed my brother, and I forgave you.
Yeah, he thinks he's fucking Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
I am curious some of the adventures they might have been on. Off by themselves, though. Mm-hmm. Krace and Talon.
Kind of, because...
Especially with Krace having to be, the responsible one.
That is, as much as we just talked about how much he sucked and he's not actually a good guy...
He's trying real hard to be a good dad.
He is.
He's trying real hard to be a good dad and also prevent his murder baby from being a murder adult.
And not just be a murderer like shithead himself. He, as much as he hasn't really been able to escape the like kind of privileged view of the world he had as a peacekeeper, he also has recognized that the peacekeeper society is not a good thing for the galaxy either.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not what Crichton thinks he is, but he's definitely not what he thinks he is either.
Yeah.
Which does make him interesting. I just also want to punch him.
Yeah.
He's smarmy. And that's something I think Farscape does better than a lot of shows of like, Farscape is so willing to have you dislike any of its characters if it wants you to.
Oh, I think it intentionally wants you to dislike all of its
That's
characters.
the point. Like, not many shows do that, especially...
Zan was the most likable character, and we also didn't care that much when she died. Or me and Tyler didn't. We
Well,
cared, but like not as much as they wanted us to.
Crichton's pretty likable, but there's a lot of like, Crichton, what the fuck are you doing moments? And they don't hide that.
Crichton, what the fuck are you saying out loud to other people right now? Why would you say it that way to these aliens who don't... I'm an earthling and I don't even understand what you just said, fucking dude.
That ends with...
Getting swallowed by the Budong. Or that's the
No,
beginning of the
it
next
ends
episode.
with they are forced to
Split up.
split. Talon goes one way, Moya goes the other. One of the Crichtons and Aaron and Stark and Rigel end up on Talon, and then other Crichton, Chiana, Dargo, and Jewel
End up on Moya.
end up on Moya. And that Crichton has the rawest fucking deal. He doesn't have his gun. He doesn't have the girl he's in love with. He doesn't have all of the notes he's been working on. He doesn't have... Well, I mean, those are the main things he doesn't have. What he does have is his angry best friend and his ex-friend's ex-fiance and the pissed off elitist valley girl that melts metal when she screams.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm down with the bouncing between the two crews. I
do-
love the two crews.
it's really interesting.
It is
but
such an interesting way of getting into like, well, let's just have Crichton on both ships. Of just like, well, there's two Crichtons. That's such a great way of examining that, but also it feels so intentionally set up.
It also acknowledges how big this cast has gone and set them up in ways that you can give more time to actors because you don't have to try to get so many characters into a single episode. And like it does in some ways, I don't want to hear your thoughts, but
No, you're good.
Continue some of the plot lines, keeping Chiana and Dargo together, for example, but also change. We've never fucking seen Rigel and Stark really have to interact much, so like now they're roommates. Like, let's put characters who otherwise might not interact as much because of the size of the cast.
They're on a ship
Real
that
close.
everybody wants to fuck Aaron's son except them. Including the ship, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Talon's got a mommy fetish, but not for Moya.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
kinda, yeah.
Oh no, Aaron's the stepmom and Talon's porn.
Oh, I hate it.
Now that I've ruined that moment, you had a thing you were gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say, and then they get swallowed by the Budong.
And then they get swallowed by the Budong.
Always into space whales.
Yeah. Especially when they have dong in the name.
Although this episode was kind of forgettable for me.
Yeah, I remember the harpooning.
That's about it.
There are some again, it's another one where as much as I was like, this season kicks ass, the A plot monster of the week plots don't fucking matter in this season. They just exist to drive the character moments. And I actually think it's interesting that Talon is jealous.
Oh, and Talon alters the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talon is jealous of Crichton. And Crichton being around and taking some of Aaron's attention, and because he's, I'm sure, and they don't really say this, but because he's merged with Grace, who wants to fuck her so bad, I'm sure some part of Talon's like, oh, well, you should be with Daddy.
This is the episode that had my favorite line from Aaron in the entire season.
You are a plague, John Crichton?
No, Talon, you've seen both of them naked. You can tell us who's bigger.
That was a very good line.
Yeah. I love how Erin just has no time for anyone's shit anymore. She is now the most emotionally mature character of this entire cast, which is fucking wild. We couldn't will they won't they much longer. We needed to change up the John and Erin relationship. And if you're going to split up the two Crichtons, I think you had to make one of the Crichtons hook up with Erin.
Well, they're having their cake and eating it too, because it's not will they, won't they. It's both they did and they didn't.
Yeah. But, like, if you're going to explore both Crichtons, have the Crichton that misses Erin and has the ennui, and have the Crichton that, like, is apparently making really loud sex noises.
The more I learn about Erin and Sebastians, right? That's their
Sebastians, yeah.
Mhm.
/ peacekeepers. I feel like they probably fucked at one point before we were introduced to them.
It is.
He played the pilot card, and she was just like, "Sure, whatever."
Yeah, whatever.
Well, we know that she played the pilot card, and she traded her lover to be a pilot again. I don't think they did because he probably was like, ugh, you're too close to people. You're clingy. Or whatever the peacekeeper version of clingy was, because she had a guy she kind of liked.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I
they
would
had.
not be surprised, but I think that she was probably, for the most part, too unimportant for him at the time, when there would have been plenty of hot, higher-ranking women that would have been more on his level.
He just seems like a horn dog who's throwing it at anybody.
Yeah,
he can
and
get.
that's why the blonde girl that was super into him, that he broke her neck in the first season, was probably...
Yeah, I feel
Right.
like he plays the captain card with some lowly cadets and then breaks their neck. So they probably didn't fuck
And
actually.
then plays the captain card again.
because she's alive.
It is... I mean, it is possible, and like even when I was watching that the first time before we found out that Talon had like faked that information, it would have been 100% like possible. And even as Aaron calls it out and is right about it, like it's not your fucking business, Crichton. Like it wouldn't have mattered. And Crichton, I think it's interesting with Crichton on this one where he is, on some level, trying. He's like, Aaron, it's none of your business. It's none of my business what happened before or something. But he's like also seething with fucking anger and jealousy about this, but also like recognizes on some level that they're not a couple. And even if they were, that happened before they were
Even knew each
a
other
couple.
theoretically.
But
he acknowledges that he knows that intellectually.
Yeah, but emotionally he doesn't. And
Mhm.
also, Talon, and what we think at first is craze poking, but Talon has been poking him nonstop. He hasn't slept because there's always the DRDs
yeah.
making noises or stealing his gun or like. So I don't think Crichton is emotionally in the right here, but like they do kind of put in little bits to kind of explain how he was already so on edge. Also, living with Craze has to just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather live with Crace or Rimmer?
Who's Rimmer?
Red Dwarf.
Rimmer.
I think so, yeah.
I would
it's
rather
rough
live.
though, right?
I'd
Yeah,
rather
that's a
live in the Red
tough
Dwarf
one.
universe than I would rather live in the Farscape
That's a good
universe.
argument, too.
Yeah, that's
Rimmer
true.
is the most annoying character in the history of science fiction. And his low rank jealousy and pettiness is infuriating to deal with. But I think on some levels it'd be easier to ignore than someone who actually is trained in command.
Yeah.
Also, Rimmer, I can just literally like walk through and ignore. While Crace could kill me.
Also true.
Yeah,
Also
all
true.
of these are true. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
It ends with them finally being a couple.
That's right. That moment was cute.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to rewatch this episode because I don't really fucking remember a lot of this little bits.
Losing Time. It's the episode. The next episode is the one where they're randomly passing out for some reason, and I literally could not tell you what the end plot of that episode is.
The energy rider design was dope.
Yes, it was
Plus-
the escaped alien like soul or something that is like possessing one of them.
Plus, the underbelly of Moya is very fucking black box theater kind of level set design, but like I do like them going down.
oh,
and
and
seeing-
like the room for the
and like Moya is trying to show them through the DRDs, like this is a way I can show you what the fuck's going on. That she's got the energy rider.
yeah, in the starburst room or whatever, like the room where the starburst energy starts.
Mm-hmm.
There were some cool visuals. I think mostly what this episode did effectively is set up what the status quo of this crew was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last episode set up the status quo, but it set up the status quo while also paying off a like 2.5 season arc of 2 characters. So it just feels so much bigger. You know, holy shit, Aaron and Crichton have a cute moment and are fucking now. Like,
Good for them.
but like, yeah, we see like, okay, we're gonna put Rigel and Sark together. We're gonna have those 2. We're gonna have Grace sucking. With this one, let's. I won't leave that be.
I thought you were going to add to that, but like what he is sucking, but like
Nope.
that makes sense that he just sucks.
But then like this same one is setting up like what's the team balance when it's Jewel, Chiana, Dargo, and Crichton and Pilot. But that's less interesting than the one before. So it just kind of it's not a bad episode. It was compelling when I was watching it. I forgot all of it until you said the words Energy Rider.
Yeah.
Which has the coolest design. Anyway,
It does look really good.
it looks really fucking good.
Kind of remind me of Rayquaza.
Yeah, a little bit.
Farscape's visual designs have always been good, but I feel like they're really good this season. Just
Agreed.
the amount that they've been able to like dial in the visual language of this universe so much over the course of 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Relativity. They have to hide on a healing jungle planet that has like heavier gravity, and Aaron's mom is hunting them.
Okay, yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'll forever love Aaron's mom for stabbing Rigel.
I also forever love Stark for sewing up his tunic into his wound.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. There were a couple of interesting moments here. I like
The mercenary Pina Colada's heart exploding because of the gravity.
yeah, okay, I liked that too.
I was just like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, if my heart can explode just from walking here, like, this ain't the mission for me, bro.
Yo, guys, I gotta go. I'm gonna take a mulligan on this one. You guys call me when you're on a different planet.
I'll do another 50 missions if I have to or something, just not on the heart exploding planet. So Aaron and Zalix have some interesting moments, and like they do a good job of portraying kind of the parallels of where they were going.
Do.
I know. I could not find a better way to make that sentence go. But like they make a good parallel of how they started, but Aaron left and Zalix stayed. And like there's a lot of this is what Aaron easily could have been if she had not left the Peacekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the most interesting part of this episode is Crichton and Crace kind of going nuts on each other, and really the level of realization of how much Crace has been like Crichton is right that Crace has been manipulating them from the start, even if he is trying to be a better person. But like he didn't ally with them because he wanted to be a better person. He allied with them because he's the one person. They're the only people he couldn't beat. So they were his best chance of surviving.
/ only people he could go to at all. They were their last option.
And like as much as like, oh, I've realized that this is bad, but also like, man, I'm gonna be hunted just as bad as they are, so I better have them on my side because they're weirdly good at getting out of shit. And then like him leaving Crace theoretically to die, and then just using him as bait, like, which was fucking cold-blooded.
Yeah, but fuck Crace.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just getting it out there. Like, that dynamic and that kind of change.
Ooh,
It's
this was-
kind of a growth of the relationship where they're actually dealing with each other much more honestly than they ever have.
This is also the episode where you see Harvey kind of get a little bit of like more leeway to like kind of help Crichton out of like, I'm gonna give you some information. This is a thing I noticed that you didn't notice.
Yeah, but there's also more of a balance because before Harvey was in control in season 2. Then Harvey was literally thrown in the dumpster and let out of the dumpster, mental dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Very fucking Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers, by the way. But
Look, lucky for Harvey, it wasn't more Dr. Druid.
oh no, not burned to death in said dumpster, but like in that Crichton had all of the control, and this is Harvey being like, "Fine, it's your brain, and I can't actually like make you do shit anymore, but I need some level of autonomy, like some level of even self control, if not control of you." So it's kind of a continuing growth of that relationship in really strange ways. Plus, I just love anytime we see Harvey because there's solid odds that it will be Scorpius dressed in like a Hawaiian t-shirt. I don't think it was this time, but like that's
I don't
my
think it
favorite.
was this time, but like I thought of this scene earlier when we were talking about Scorpius / Harvey, and I couldn't remember where it came up, but I do
Or in the
remember.
fucking Reservoir Dogs like suit that he wears
Yeah.
sometimes, or like
Whatever he's wearing when he's playing the drums.
yeah, that like purple shiny shirt.
Yes.
And they also just, got to walk in really big circles around a soundstage in this episode.
Yeah, they definitely did that a lot.
That was something that jumped out to me. I was like, oh, good for them. They got to run a soundstage.
It is one of those things where you can always tell when they're like, it's the hot, dark jungle. And you're like, that is a bunch of fake fucking plants and a fog machine. Like,
You are not showing us their feet for a reason.
I don't know if I have.
Anything else? Yeah, I'm...
All of the character growth was like,
Right away.
there was a shit ton of character growth. And then these next few episodes we watched were kind of like set up for the new. They needed to wrap up some storylines, and then they needed to set up where we're going to go next.
We didn't touch on. I will say that we didn't touch on Scorpius as much as there is stuff in this season. In that, like, we should mention that Scorpius is working on wormhole technology. It gets more into it in the next episode specifically.
We were supposed to watch the next one,
And
fucked
I
up.
did watch episode 11, so there is a lot of that.
That's fine.
Oh, he does have
there.
that exposition bit, though, where he lays out, like, no, like, we kind of have to fake it till we make it on this because we're actually in a fucking losing position.
Yeah, the Scarens outnumber us 10-1, and one of their soldiers can take out like 13 of us. We are effed in the bee.
Yeah, the only thing that is stopping them is the promise of a wormhole weapon. So, kind of got to get there.
And it adds a really interesting level to Scorpius on that. Also, we find out that he's basically made his own John neural clone, and like every time he's going through John's brain for info, he just ends up murdering Crichton because Crichton's really annoying.
Fair.
Yeah. That was the other thing I wanted to touch on just before we end.
Thank you. That is important, and we
bit.
haven't gotten much Scorpius so far. Like we've gotten a little bit of Harvey like every episode, but
And there is some in the start of the season because they're wrapping up stuff of what he was doing there, but that's like
the least interesting parts of those episodes, even though it's a like well-paced action thriller.
Pretty much.
yeah, but that's all I really got for this chunk we watched.
So next time we are doing, knock on wood, the second half of season 3. Finish up this bit, and then we will do some other, fun. We're gonna keep doing what we've been doing through this, so
X-Files season
should be
1.
fun.
Or like the best X-Files episodes. I don't know. I want to make you watch X-Files.
We do want to do some more 90s Monster of the Week stuff.
But we are doing this currently, so we could wait on that.
There's a lot of stuff we want to do.
Ted Lasso season 3.
The list has not gotten smaller, even though we've done like 200 episodes.
Basically.
If anything, the list has gotten bigger.
Good place.
Yeah. That's probably our next big one after Farscape. But that's later. This is now. That's a weird way to do this. In the meantime, we're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
Dismissed.
Hi, everybody. General Tyler here. If you like the show, please hit subscribe however you're listening to us right now. Also, if you could rate and review us however you're listening to us right now, or preferably over at Apple Podcasts, we would super appreciate it, as the whole world is ran on algorithms, and we want to be all up in them, getting our voice out to more places. Also, tell your friends. We always appreciate that. If you want to get in contact with us, ask us questions, give us comments, email us generalnerderypod@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website, www.generalnerdcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our back catalog, or click the links up at the top, as we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network. Go check out all of our sister shows. We're involved with most of them, so if you already like listening to us talk, it might be in your best interest. And if you want to check out everything from the network, head over to earworm.com, EARVVYRM.com. We'd super appreciate it. Love you all. Have a good one.